What's up, my peeps? We are back again this week, and we are checking out the Taramps Big Boss 5 bass. So this is the black version of the Taramps Big Boss 5 bass. It comes in a white version as well. So this one has RGB lights all across the front, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit. And there is a button over on the right to change the light settings, and you could even program it. Here are the specs on this amplifier. So it's basically a 5,000 watt amp with the smart technology. So it's going to give you 5,000 watts, whether you're half ohm to 2 ohm. And then if you run it at 4 ohm, it drops a little bit. And we will do the dyno and see what it puts out. But super nice amp. The quality on these looks so nice. Like you can just tell from the gloss, the black is just really nice. Just high quality finish. And now we're using the optional monitor level remote. So Taramps actually has a bass knob now with the power protect clip indicator all built in one. A lot of guys were asking for that, and that is separate, and they're about $28-29. But just make sure on the older amps, it has to say that it's monitor level remote capable. It won't work on a lot of the older Taramps. This was a new feature they added with the new lines. So we're going to go ahead and get this checked out. I'll also show you a gut shot, and we'll see what's inside this thing later, show you the LEDs, and most important, see what it does on the amp dyno. I'll put a full chart up with the wattage and efficiencies at the end, but really excited to do this one. This is going to be replacing my regular Smart 5 bass that's in my truck now. So on this end, we have dual 2-aught inputs for your power and ground, lots of end cap venting. And then on this side, we have our 8-gauge speaker outs. And there's that monitor level remote for the actual bass knob. If yours doesn't say monitor level, that optional bass knob won't work. So keep that in mind if you have an older amp. And then we got the bass boost, frequency, low pass, high pass, and then your single RCA in and your jumper out. All right, so here are the lights on this. It's pretty cool. I know some of the guys don't like lights, but you can actually shut them off. So if you don't like them, turn them off. But they got a lot of different settings you can go through, and you can even like program. I think there's like 6 or 7 that you can change the color and program yourself. And some of them actually look really nice. So I'm just going to scroll through a couple just so you guys can kind of see what options there are. So, I mean, pretty cool looking. See there, you can turn it off where just the 5 lights up if you don't want it on. So I'm kind of digging it. You know, I like that you can change it. So it's not just one thing. But let me know what you guys think. At first, I was not too sure about the lights, but I think they look freaking awesome now that I'm seeing them and now that I'm seeing all the options you have. All right, so now let's get down to business and get this thing hooked up and see what the numbers are. All right, and as usual, we're starting at 4 ohm certified. Now, certified shows the wattage up to 1% THD, then it stops. So that's the clean power. The manual said 2700 at 4 ohm is what this was rated at. And it did over, so we got 2,747 at 4 ohm. So already it's doing more than it said it would in the manual, which is a good sign. And the efficiency looks real good, but we'll calculate that later. So now we're doing uncertified. Now this runs up to clipping. Basically, this is like the max output power. Some amps do a little bit more uncertified, some don't. So we'll see where this one's at. And it did a little more, 2778. And again, the efficiency looks really good. We drew 229 amps, which is pretty good for that amount of power. So far, so good. I mean, I've always had great luck with these amps. I mean, all mine have been super reliable, and I've had no complaints so far on any of mine. So dynamic power is basically, it's real power, but it's short bursts. It's what it can put out for a split second, like on a rock and roll kick drum. And again, some amps do a lot more, some don't. So this is doing a little bit more. We got 2,831. So again, the manual said 2700, so we're doing more than it says, so we're off to a good start. Now let's move on to 2 ohm. So from 2 ohm to half ohm, it's supposed to do 5K. So we'll see if it can do it. And just right there, man, just knocking on the door. 4737. And I'm not bumping up the voltage. Some amp dyno guys, if I think they bump the voltage up to try to help stuff out. I mean, look, that's at 14.3 volts and it's still putting out that kind of power. So that's really good. So this is uncertified up to clipping. Almost, man. 4803. So if I bump my voltage up more, it would definitely do it. But, you know, some guys don't like it when I run higher voltage like the other amp dyno guys, so I try to keep it more real world of what you'd see in your vehicle. So I try to keep it right around the 14.5, 14.3. So dynamic burst here with the short bursts, we got 4775. So it's just a little bit under on that 2 ohm rating. Not quite hitting the 5, but I mean that's so close to me. It's like that's a pass. So the 1 ohm test. Oh yeah, wow, look at that. We just shot right over 6,146 watts. And again, man, it only drew 560 amps for putting out over 6,000 watts. So I'm excited to calculate the efficiency on this one. It seems really good. So, and also keep in mind, guys, if you're running an amp like this, you need electrical to power it. Wow, look at that. 7,083 uncertified. So this is basically max output at 1 ohm for a constant sine wave. So it's a 5K. It's doing 7 at 1 ohm. That's why these are really hard to beat. They're good quality. They look nice. The power is just incredible for the money. I mean, they've been reliable. All of mine have been reliable. So really hard to beat these Taramps. So dynamic here, we got 7,320 watts. So very good power. It's sticking right around that little over that 7K mark at all the 1 ohm tests. All right, guys, half ohm. So let's go ahead and do the half ohm tests. And this is where the smart technology comes in. So 5,629. Again, it's doing overrated. It said 5,000 in the manual. So we're getting 5629. And again, the efficiency on this amp seems awesome. So here's uncertified max up to clipping. And there you go, 5,700 watts at half ohm. And we're at 14.23 volts. I didn't over pump up my voltage. So it even did that on 14.2 volts. So very freaking awesome. This amplifier is doing really good. That's the cool thing about the smart amps. If you want to run it at half ohm or 2 ohm or 1.5 or even 4, you get a lot more power with impedance rise in your vehicle than you would a standard amp. So let's do dynamic burst at half ohm, the last test, and 7,611 watts. So man, this amp did freaking awesome. For the money you're paying, look what power you're getting, you know, and the amp looks super nice. I'm loving it. All right. So we did all the tests. Let me put a results chart up now. Then we'll also take the back off and see what's inside this amplifier. All right, fellas. Well, here's the results sheet. And as I thought from looking at the ammeter, the efficiency on this amp is awesome. 80%, over 80%, super good efficiency. It did awesome on all the tests. I mean, it put out even over 5K, 7K at 1 ohm and half ohm, which is great. And it's hard to beat these for the power you get and the reliability. It's just, They're really hard to touch. And keep in mind, guys, you're getting that kind of power. This amp is not even 17 inches long. So they're compact also. If you don't have a lot of room, that's what's also great about these amps, along with that smart technology that you can run half ohm, 2 ohm, 4 ohm, whatever.
Now let's check out what's under the hood. Woo!
A few moments later.
All right, guys, so here is under the hood of this amplifier, and they did do some upgrades and changes from the regular Smart Bass Series amps. You'll notice the fiberglass insulating sheets under the power supplies, and they also added some more silicone onto the caps and the fans right here. These are also new fans. They're super quiet. I like them a lot. They're a lot quieter than the old Taramps fans, and actually they're amongst the quietest full bridge fans that I've heard. So it's nice to have, quiet fans so you don't hear it up in the driver's seat. But, it's Taramps quality. It's super good. These amps are really hard to beat for the power you get and the value. I mean, it's pretty incredible. And for the size, like this amp is not even 17 inches long and you're getting over 5K. And the efficiency is great. So, not much to complain about. So these large caps right here, these are just 2200 microfarad, but they're 200 volt. The small ones are 4700 microfarad, 25 volt caps, but super clean. All right, guys, let's get down to business. What's the verdict? Well, I love this amplifier. This is going in my truck. I can't wait to get it in there. It just looks beautiful. The build quality on these Taramps is excellent. I mean, just the finish, the fit and finish, and the power you get out of these amps for the money is just incredible. It's nice that they came out with the new monitor level remote, so you get an actual bass knob with the Power Protect clip indicator, and that is compatible with only the amps that have the monitor level option on it, so make sure you check that. It won't work with some of the older amps, but beautiful amplifier. Love the lights. I'll put a link in the description below if you guys want to check it out. If you guys like the content, man, please like and subscribe. It would really help me out. But awesome amp, man. I mean, really can't complain. I've never had a problem with any of mine. I'm a Taramps fan. I like the way they sound. I even have high-end Korean amps, and I like my Taramps. They just work, and I love having the smart technology where I can throw half ohm, 2 ohm, whatever at it. So really cool. Can't wait to get this in my truck and finish my new build this summer. So thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Please be advised, no amplifiers were harmed during the making of this video.